Eagle, baby. First eagle. It's kind of brown. I thought he'd be more black. And I got a crow harassing him. There he goes. All right, so Dave has been kind enough. We're in, where are we? Silverton. Silverdale. I get all the time.
Silverton's in Colorado.
Bremerton. But we're going to the doctor. We checked in, and I'm going to go to urgent care and finally check out what's wrong with my ankle. Get some x-rays, see if it's any breaks. I don't think so, but we'll see. So I'm finally getting it checked, and we'll keep you updated. Say hi, Dave.
Hi.
Reluctantly. Hey guys, I thought I'd check in with you and give you an update. I've been waiting to do this because my injury. To go over really quickly what's happened. So I did that about 75 miles, as you saw if you've been watching my videos on my channel. I was about a third of the way through a 108-mile section of the Glacier Peak Wilderness and into another wilderness area from Stehekin to Skykomish, or I should say from Stehekin to Stevens Pass, and then you can go to Leavenworth or Skykomish. And if you watched, I severely hurt my ankle and fell off a cliff, and the trail eroded under my feet, and I heard cracking and popping in my left ankle, and was sure that I tore the ligaments. If you've watched, my ankle's been blown up. Today is, I will say, is July 23rd. This happened on the 10th, so it's been 1 day shy of 2 weeks, and it's still not much better, which is, I knew I'd done something pretty bad to it. But all the signs were to have torn ligaments. So I hiked 75 miles plus out of there. If you've seen the videos, I went to Skykomish and stayed 3 nights, so basically like 3.5 days, and rested it. And honestly, I mean, I guess I had a little less pain, but it was no better. I hitched back to Stevens Pass at the ski resort there and hiked 12 miles out in freezing, pouring rain. I had the worst day and night I've ever had in my life on any trail, camping anywhere. It was horrible. Close to hypothermic, so I decided that my ankle's just too messed up. So that was 12 miles out. I hiked 12 miles back the next morning and got rained on. And of course, as soon as I got back, then the weather got better. But I kind of knew it. But this was is really not weather driven as much as the health of my ankle driven. So with the 75 and 24, I basically did 100 miles or 99 miles on this ankle. And so I got so lucky because my friend Heather Hill, who lives in Washington, drove over 3 hours to come get me at Stevens Pass the next day. I spent the night, once I hiked the 12 miles back to Stevens Pass, they let hikers sleep on the patio, and it was covered, so it did rain, and I stayed dry. But I cowboy camped on their patio, and then she was kind enough to drive 3.5 hours to come get me, and then another hour and a half or 2 to Seattle, where she dropped me off at the ferry, and I got on the ferry, and on the other side in Bremerton, my trail angels from before again put me up, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Dave and Christy. And you saw them, Dave hiked with me to the terminus, and the North Terminus. So I've been here for a few days, and they were like, you could stay a week or 2 and just heal up and get back on trail, and that was my intent. I've been an athlete my whole life. I've tons of injuries, and I'm an extremely fast healer. I just knew something was wrong with this ankle, that it can go 2 weeks and almost be no better. And hiking on it did not help for sure. And I would tweak it pretty bad 1 to 4 or 5 times a day, and it felt like it went right back to whatever was getting better would just go right back to the ground zero again. So I bit the bullet, and I checked into urgent care yesterday about how much it would cost me, basically because I don't have any insurance, and so they give discounts if you pay cash, which is great. So I knew it was going to cost. I went in today. I got 3 x-rays and had the doctor actually look at my ankle and talk about how I hurt it and all that. And it's funny because they took one of the 3 x-rays was straight on my 2 ankles, like standing there normal side by side, so they could see a good ankle and a bad ankle and see the difference. And they put it up on the screen, and I sat there for 20 minutes waiting for the doctor. And I'm absolutely not a doctor and don't know how to read x-rays, but the minute I looked at it, I knew my ankle was broken. So I actually broke my ankle. I have a pretty large fracture. The doctor was honestly, when he came in and we looked at it, he goes, yeah, it's broken. And he didn't know or think I had torn ligaments. He says you may have 1 torn, but he says you really can't tell that in x-rays, of course. But I could tell by looking at it, and I don't know how to read X-rays, but it was definitely different, and you could tell it was like cracked. And then he showed me a different angle that they did, and you could see the pretty long, big crack. And the thing, he was looking at me crazy. He says, "How far did you hike on it?" And I told him, and how rough the terrain. He says, "What you're lucky is it didn't. It's not displaced, so it's broken but in place. So I'm really lucky. It can just heal in place like it is." But he says, "I don't know how you hiked that far and didn't have it come like out of whack, so the bone is not lined up right, because then you may have to have surgery to have it realigned." So I'm really, really lucky that way. Super lucky. That's why it's still killing me. So basically, I spent the money on that appointment to find out what it really was, and then they referred me to a place to get I basically have a walking boot, like you see athletes get when they break an ankle or turn their ankle. So I have a walking boot now that's like a walking cast boot, but I can take off at night. So I invested and got one of those. And today is the 23rd, and I made a flight tomorrow to fly home. And one of my main things was it's going to be from the date of the injury 4 to 8 weeks to heal. So that's 1 or 2 months, and it's been 2 weeks right now. So I have ways to go. I just knew that it was not a normal injury, and that it wasn't something I could just shake off in a few days. And I didn't want to impose on Dave and Christy's kindness. They said I could stay here a few weeks, but I doubt even in a few weeks it'll be ready. So, I mean, I know it won't. So, I don't know. I think pretty much my hike's over. I have one scenario that I may be able to do, and that is I really want to go to PCT trail days, and I may go anyway, no matter how healed or not I am. So any of you guys are going to go, I'd love to meet you guys that have been following along. But my hiking partner, if you watch my videos from the desert, one of my hiking partners, Adam, Captain Oregon, he's been off the trail ever since we got off at Canyon Meadows, and he's been working and saving money to get back on trail. And he's going to go to PCT Trail Days, which is mid-August in Cascade Locks, which is on the Oregon-Washington border. And then he's going to hike south and I think do the state of Oregon, and I would love to do that. So that was my plan before I knew it was broken. I thought, well, if I hurt the ligaments, it should be good. So I have about 3 weeks to see how it goes with this boot, and then I have an ankle brace to kind of phase into out of the boot. And so, there's an outside chance I get to hike Oregon, so there may be some videos, but right now the whole through hike is gone. I have too much, it's going to take too long to heal, and I may not hike anymore this year on the trail. I mean, I'm going to try to, but, it doesn't make any sense to damage my ankle any further. I think I'm pretty blessed and lucky to have it in place and broken, as bad as it is. And so that's about it. I wanted to give you an update, and there was a reason why I had so much pain. And I'm surprised I got to be able to walk out of there on it, but I did it. And like I said, I have about 100 miles on my leg, and that's about it. So I need to keep it immobilized, elevated, iced, all that stuff, and let's start to heal fast. So I'll be going home tomorrow. By the time you see this, it might be after the fact, but I'm going home tomorrow on the 24th. It's a Wednesday of July, and I'll have about 3 weeks before trail days to see how it heals. So love to hear from you, your comments, thoughts. I'm so happy and thankful that you guys follow along. Most of you guys have been so good about regulars following along and leaving me nice comments and questions and all kinds of things and your thoughts and feelings. And I'm bummed that I put so much time and effort into having this hike and it end because of an injury, not because it's my choice. And I'm bummed that I can't keep making the videos for you, at least right now. Maybe you'll have a chance to do Oregon. But just thank you, everybody. I can't thank you enough. And I can't thank Dave and Christy enough. And everybody that's helped me along the way. It's pretty amazing. And as they say, it's about the people you meet on the trail, not as much the trail itself. The trail is kind of a venue to see all these places and meet all these people, but it's part of the whole experience. But so far it's been great. I'm not saying it's over quite yet. I'll let you know if it is, but right now I'm going home to San Diego and see if I can get some more hiking in later before the season's over, and if I can get some more miles in, then maybe I can try to complete the trail next year and continue this and just fill in the gaps. So that's it for now. I wanted to give you an update, and thanks again for everything, for watching and for following along. Check in later. As you can see right here, if you look at the picture on the left, it's actually my right ankle, and the outer edge of the fibula bone is normal. And if you look at the one on the right, which is my left ankle, it's cracked and shattered on the lower left portion of it. Here's a close-up of it. As you can see, the lower portion of the fibula bone is cracked.